Shalom, shalom. Start off, I say, Kyle Halai, how about Shemel Shah, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom, salutation to all the sincere Akims, Cost of Four Winds, Kasam God from the DC camp. Coming at you again through the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shah. Yeah, just want to make a quick video, laying back and on the video of the brother, Bashad, down here at DC camp, man. He made a beautiful video, man. I mean, going into, West African Jakes, or West African Hebrew Israelite. You know what I'm saying? I had me and the brother actually down here at DC had made videos showing the correlation between West African culture and Jake, living here in America, and how it's so similar. Being me myself being coming from West Africa, which was a place of birth. I mostly grew up here, but I still had the knowledge and I was able to see both worlds, like, so one of the things that came back into remembrance was this picture right here when I had actually done research on the different the tribe that I came from, and just diving in, trying to get more information, to help the elect, the elect that is scattered across the four winds, and hopeful elect that are either from West Africa, living in different places across the four winds, or, born and raised and still remain in West Africa to wake the hell up, especially if they're part of the elect, because that's what it's all about. It's about the election, 144,000, the remaining of the 1/3. Now, I really want to get into this image right here, of this West African Hebrew Israelite. And this was really the image, and I had brought that up in that video, the live show that I did with the brother Menashe, and just want to focus on the image a little bit more. This is the statue of a chief. Chief. Brothers know what a chief is. The leader of the clan or leader of the tribe, a West African tribe. As you can see, they made a statue of him, and he's got the cane. And I want to focus on you got the bits, but I want to focus on the garment. That's what I want to focus on. When you look at his garment, clearly, this is how, this garment, this is how West African Jakes would dress, especially like in the villages. As you can see right here, you got the trees. You got the trees right there. And you see, what do you see right here? What do you see? You see fringes. Let me see if I can get a close up. Okay, this is as much as it'll give you. You see fringes right here. Like, they're not like little small fringes. They're like fringes tied in a knot. But these are fringes. Remember, it's not going to be perfect. They're not going to have like, look, you see that border right here? Now the border is black. Now, you never know. The border could have been blue because, look, the statue is really black and white. But it doesn't necessarily mean that the garment itself was black and white. Because sometimes, let's say when they built the statue, they couldn't find like a blue color, to put right here in the border. But just the fact that you have that border, you have that line that represents what? The border of blue. We know this through the spirit. Reason why we confident in this is we know we Israelites according to the spirit. Romans 8:31, we're Israelites. We know that through the spirit. Now, when we match that with prophecy and historical facts and historical placements and migration, it just adds, it adds on to the fact that we already know that, that's the truth. That's who we are. Now, like I said, this is the chief. This is an Israelite. As you can see, the garment. You see the fringes, this is a Hebrew Israelite, man. But over there in the land, in the land of Africa, they call themselves, West Africans. But that's where Jake actually fled into, fleeing from Roman persecution back in 770 AD. And a lot of Jakes, even during the Spanish Inquisition, ran and went from Spain back to the West Africa. Now let's get some scripture that to back that up. This is Numbers 15:38. It says, "Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments." This is not a coincidence. The fact that he has these fringes tied in a knot is not a coincidence that he has that. Because you look around in all the other people, all the other tribes, they don't have that. They don't feel the need. They didn't feel. Why is it that the other tribes, on the east side, and the other tribes are heathen in Africa? Why is it that their garments, they didn't feel the need to put anything on that resemble, borders and fringes? Because they're not Israelites, But the West African Jake, the majority of them, the great majority of them are Israelites, from Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and even as far as Simeon, because when you read Babylon and Timbuktu, it tells you had Simeonites of the northern kingdom that went down to North Africa, and down in Timbuktu was making trades down there. So you also, listen, you have some certain Ephraimites in West Africa, like this one Jake, and I remember the brother Bashar had even noticed that this one Jake I had met at the gym, he was from I think he was from Burkina Faso, if I'm not mistaken. One of those northwestern countries in West Africa. And the dude was always wearing tight pants with with shoeless, like with shoes with no socks. And he just had that. And from afar, you look at him, you think like, man, that's a Dominican motherfucker. Nah, he was born and raised in, I think it's Burkina Faso, which is northwest. Yeah, it's a country in northwest Africa. And the dude, of course, straight up Jake, but we told straight up when he came to camp, you know what I'm saying? The brother was like, yo, the dude, that's a Simeonite. And I told the brother, nah, this brother's a West African Jake. And I was like, whoa, but that's the truth. You even had the Northern Kingdom in West Africa, man. So, man, the Most High is bad, man. So going back to Numbers 15 and 38, speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue, and that's what it is right here. Like I said, it's black right here, but you never know. It could have been blue. Maybe that the statue was just lack of clay, the color, but even if it was black, they had it right here because they're Israelite. Whatever they could put out there, they put it as a remembrance of who they are, where they come from. Now, this is Deuteronomy 22 and 12. It says, thou shalt make thee fringes upon the four quarters of thy vesture, wherewith thou coverest thyself. So it's not a coincidence that this chief in West Africa, had in the borders of his garment, fringes, although tied in a knot, and then this border right here, which represents that border of blue. It's all spiritual, man, but it's right there. It's the truth. Now, you can say, well, how do you know that they're doing this because they're Israelites? Well, it's simple. I have a scripture for that. This is Romans 2 and 14. It says, for when the Gentiles, which have not the law, the Gentiles are Israelite foreigners, like this chief right here, he would be a Gentile, a West African Hebrew Israelite, right? It says, for when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law, having not the law, are a law unto themselves. So it says, do by nature. Let's look up the word nature, because the scripture is saying whatever he's doing, whatever they're doing in West Africa when they have these garments and they put edges of fringes in the borders, it says they're doing by nature. So let's look up the word nature in the Greek. It says, for when the Gentiles and not the Lord do by nature. Okay. Look up the word nature.
Strong's G 5449. Phusis.
Wait, it's phusis. Which, if I'm not, because it sounds like that's where you kind of get like physics a little bit, but I'm not sure. But it's phusis, as you heard. It says nature, the nature of things, the force, laws, order of nature as opposed to what is monstrous, abnormal, birth, see, physical origins. See, a mode of feeling and acting which by long habit has become nature. The sum of innate properties and powers by which one person differs from others. Innate meaning inside. It's an inside property. This is not a coincidence. This is an inside property going back to Numbers 15 and 38 and Deuteronomy 22 and 12. It says, the sum of innate properties and powers by which one person differs from others, distinctive native peculiarities, going back to the word peculiar, the scripture said we are a peculiar people, natural characteristics, the natural strength, ferocity, and tractability of beasts. It says natural characteristics, and it's talking about being peculiar, distinctive native. So this is what? This was something that was to be distinctive from whom? From the other nations. So this was kept throughout the years, throughout the centuries. The Hebrew Israelite, wherever he was scattered, always felt the need to, when he had his garment, to have fringes hanging on the edge and have a border or a stripe or two stripe in this case, a stripe going right above those fringes. Not a coincidence. So again, it's just to add more into the fact that, West Africa, the majority of, the so-called Negroes that you see in, so-called blacks that you see in West Africa, they're Jakes, man. And we know that first through the spirit, and then also we have what? We have factual evidence right here to back it up with the spirit of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shem Shah. So with that, I'm going to say, Kal Halai Yahweh Shem Shah, my honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Shalom and salutation. For all the sincere Akims across the four winds, pushing us truth with sincerity of heart. And Kasat Magan from the DC camp. Shalom.